Ciao everybody, welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone. My name is Julian Gennady, and this is a Gleison Bremer Coach's Corner. The guy who we had no idea was coming to Juventus up until yesterday, a day ago, 2 days ago. The Juventus board got the deal done quick. As you know, what we do on the Coach's Corner here, we break down stats, analytics, and some game clips, pictures if you will, of the player. He is a center back. He's 25 years old. He is coming from our city rivals, Torino, and he's costing 40 million plus bonuses or 41 plus 9, depending on who you read or whose sources you read. So either way, he's the direct replacement for Matt Delit, and I, for one, could not be happier that we are getting this player so soon after we sold Delit. Before we get into his stats, I'm going to praise management here. I don't care if the figure reached 50 million, like 41 plus bonuses, 40 plus bonuses, whatever the case may be. We'll find out shortly the exact amount that we paid for Gleison Bremer. He's currently doing his medical, but just the fact that the Juventus board sold Matt Delit on Sunday, they got Gleison Bremer on Tuesday, basically. It just shows you how the differentiation between Paratici and Uribe Bene is, in terms of power hungry, in terms of pure business moves, and quality. Obviously, Gleison Bremer is a very good player. So we pipped Inter, our actual main rival, to this player, and you know what? Couldn't be happier with everything that happened and transpired these past couple days. So let's get into some stats. Again, what I usually do here, I have some stats, personal stats, just him alone, and his percentiles in the world, top 5 leagues. And then I have some comparisons against other defenders that we've been either linked to, that have been on Juventus. I have Matt Delit as a comparison. And then I also have some game clips. Obviously, we're not allowed to have videos on this, but we do have some pictures. And you're going to like these pictures. So before I get into some stats, what you need to know, some briefings, is this dude, Gleison Bremer, he's a physical specimen. He can win aerial duels. He'll outbody you. He's very good defensive awareness. He can intercept balls very well. He can read the play. Like I said, he'll in aerial battles, he'll win more than 50% of them. He'll challenge you high up the pitch, similar to what Delit did. So we're not really losing out in that aspect. And I'm going to share one of his offensive attributes. He can score goals. In the last 3 seasons in Serie A, no defender scored more goals than him at center back. So he has 11, and if he's a menace in the box in the attacking area or in the attacking opponent's box, even better, added bonus. So with that's a little brief on him. Let's get into his deep diving stats right now, starting with the defense. Lots of green bars there. Again, these come from Football Reference. So what it means to be in the 99th percentile is you are the cream of the crop in the top 5 leagues in Europe at center back. So as you can see, you have successful pressures, top of the cream of the crop, blocks, cream of the crop, passes blocked, interceptions. It's all there, and you can see it for yourself. And then you can see some red as well. Those don't really mean much. Dribbles tackled, dribbles contested. So in those aspects, in those statistics, that means he doesn't dive in and go into challenges willy-nilly. It means he waits and waits and waits, and he picks a spot when to go tackle. So good for him. And then also you can see in these pressures high up the pitch in the attacking third, he's very good. Tackles in the middle third, he's very good. So he's winning the ball higher up the pitch, and with that, we start our attack higher up the pitch. It's a gaining advantage in football, in American football. Your defense stops the attack midway through the field. You get the ball there. Same idea with him. He wins the ball high up the pitch. So with that, we'll go to our first graphic or picture of him playing, and it's going to be his aggression in the box, in his own box, defending. So as you can see here, he's taking on our guy Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, and as a last resort, you rely on him. He's a very reliable center back. He's going to make that tackle 10 times out of 10. And he successfully clears the danger, and they don't get scored on. Again, similar to Chiellini in that sense, in terms of no-nonsense defending, but he's a little less erratic than Chiellini was, or is, I guess, because he's not totally retired yet. But Gleison Bremer's not as erratic. He's more patient. He's probably a little bit more reliable, but I'm not saying he's better than Chiellini also. I'm just saying what he's a little bit better at. So take a look at that. Again, against one of the best players in the league. Steady Eddie, eyes on the ball, good tackle. We'll move on to the next stat. And this is the comparison, or one of the first comparisons. It's defensive action, so block, shots blocked, passes blocked, interceptions. And you see there's De Ligt, Koulibaly, Pau Torres, Kimpembe, and Gabriel Magalhaes, which on Football Reference, he goes by Gabriel Dos Santos. So that's the Arsenal center back. So as you can see, look at the top there, blocks, top, interceptions, top. He does it all. Again, take it for what it's worth, he's on Torino, and Torino has to defend, and they rely on him to defend in a back three as the main guy. So he probably a little bit of inflated stats, but not to the effect where he's almost has one more than every, like he's way ahead in these categories, way ahead. So he's a unit. He's an absolute unit. Stud at the back. There's a reason why he won Serie A Defender of the Year. So we'll move on to the next ones. And errors. So I can't believe De Ligt had 0 and Koulibaly had 0, but it is what it is. Bremer gets the occasional error. Same with Kimpembe, Torres, and Gabriel. We knew Gabriel had a high error rate. And Pau Torres was kind of weird, considering Villarreal usually sits back, but it is what it is. But tackles and interceptions, he's in his own stratosphere there. He's in his own stratosphere. So, Gleison Bremer, good for you. We're getting an absolute stud at the back. Clearances, no one's close to him. Again, this is defensive awareness from himself. The position he did play at Torino was the middle center back in a back three, and he was given the opportunity to not float per se, but he was given the opportunity at Torino to dictate when he could attack, or when he could win balls and win tackles. So I don't know if he'll have the same freedom at Juventus, but why not? Why not give him that freedom? Because he does an excellent job at it. And we're going to show you his defensive awareness and interceptions in these next couple of pictures here. As you can see, so Bremer is the guy directly in the middle running towards the ball, while you see 4 Torino guys running back. It's because, again, Bremer times his defensive actions well. He has the opportunity to dictate when he wants to go, like I said, and he's going to win the ball there. There's nothing much else to say. Like his timing's perfect. He attacks at a good time. So obviously those 2 guys now are offside if the ball is to get past him. So defensive awareness, top notch. We'll move on to the next one. So ball's getting played into the top of the box where Ciro Immobile is, number 17 on Lazio, and there's Bremer behind him at the edge of the box, and he's going to actually intercept the ball, step in front of Immobile, and start going the other way. We saw De Ligt try to do this a lot, but sometimes he's a bit clumsy. I'm not trying to knock on De Ligt here, but he was a bit clumsy when he tried to do this stuff. Bremer seems to be just that half second quicker when trying to intercept attacking plays, and obviously it's smoother and cleaner when he does that. Just a half second makes a difference. So we'll go to our next one, and it's more decision making from Bremer, defensive awareness. So back to goal, it's an Udinese player. I think it's Beto. I think so. He sees there's a back to goal, and he's got some Torino player support, so he decides to come not out of his position, but like out of his free roll in the middle there to come and get the ball, because that center forward is going nowhere. with his back to goal. And this is key as well, because many times our players would sit off and let the guy potentially turn. So with Bremer's aggressiveness and, again, defensive awareness, I'm going to keep using that word because he's very, very intelligent, he's able to disallow the attacking player to running at them in an advantageous position. So good for Bremer there. And then in this next picture we have here, I just threw it in because it's a nice picture for myself and for all Juventini around the world. It's Gleison Bremer absolutely crushing Edin Dzeko and winning the ball clean. His non-future teammate now, because he's going to be doing that for Juventus in the future, in this upcoming season. And again, aggression, timing of tackles, reading of play, because he's coming from center back to the right hand channel to get the opposing player, wins the ball clean, and he starts to play the other way. Good timing on tackles, good reading of the game, intelligent player. Strong again, because Edin Dzeko is a big boy, so Gleison Bremer is equally stronger, I guess, in this instance at least. So we're getting a unit back there. And now we're going to show some miscellaneous stats. Again, Ariel's won. He's won 4.8 out of 9 aerial duels. That is good, considering the amount of duels he has to go up against. And this is, I wanted to point this out too, because we know who Leo Bonucci is at this stage of the game. We know Leo Bonucci doesn't go for headers anymore. That's just the reality of how he plays now. He's 34 years old. So Gleison Bremer is going to be having to go up for more headers, or I guess the same amount or similar amount. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so expect him to have similar stats here. I hope he can win just a few more headers, because for a strong guy, he doesn't win too many. Like in comparison to the amount he goes up for. And the ball recoveries, incredible. 14.5 almost per game. It's incredible. That's down to, again, defensive awareness. That's down to his ability to read the game, interceptions, being in the right spot at the right time, probably understanding the movements of other players. He probably does his homework. He probably listens to the coach and the coach's plan, which is devised pre-game. So again, coachable player, if that's all true, which is good. We need that. Is he an ego? Didn't seem like he has an ego. So perfect player for Juventus. We're going to go to another picture again, and it's the reading of the game. So it's another interception here. So he stepped up out of his center back position, and this white team is trying to play a through ball through the channel there to number 9, but Bremer's come up and intercepted the ball again. So reading of the game, intercepting, he's just got it all. Everything he wanted in a center back, he's got in terms of pure defending. No nonsense. This next stat graphic, it's going to be where he needs to improve on. And I'm not saying a lot. I'm just saying he just needs to improve on it. And I think he will when he gets to this caliber of team, because he's going to have to. So we all know Giorgio Chiellini wasn't the best at completing passes, or it just looked really funky whenever he tried to dribble and make some long-range passes. It just looked a little funky. Gleison Bremer isn't as funky, but as you can see, his passing isn't the greatest. Again, what we want in a defender beside Bonucci isn't, we don't need a Michelangelo at passing. We just need a dude who can defend. And if he can make the passes, if he can make some key passes, fine. If you can play out the back, fine. But that's not what we need. Bonucci can do that. I think that's the only reason why he's in the team, to be honest. To start out of the back. But if it's Gleison Bremer, I still trust him. at this point, because I had no reason not to trust him, but we'll see throughout the season how much trust Allegri has in him to start out the back. But those stats, to me, don't look promising. The eye test as well. Did he have as many options as he'll have at Juventus, because he's playing into lesser players? He's pinging it to lesser players up front too when he's spraying the long ball. So we'll see. This is still, again, Gleison Bremer, great acquisition, but we have to see some of the faults in what we're acquiring. And you don't have to shit on the player just because he's not great at this, but keep the eye test going. Let's see what happens during the season. And then we'll transfer over to another graphic, which I'm happy with because I'm wearing a Dillard jersey right now. I like the shirt from 2 years ago. But this is what Dillard did very well. He won the ball high up the pitch. So I'm going to show you a picture of Bremer doing the same and why it's so key. So obviously there's an Udinese player there and Bremer's behind him, but he intercepts the ball. He gets in front of I think it's Beto again, to be honest, but he gets in front of the Udinese center forward and wins the ball up high. That's almost in the attacking third, but I'll still call it the neutral third. So at this point, when he wins this ball, he allows his team, Torino, to go on the attack on the front foot, close to the goal. Of course, that's what we want. Of course, that's what any team wants. But saying you want to do that and actually doing it is two different things. This guy, again, strength, ability to read the game, is going to allow Juventus to play on the front foot more when he wins the ball higher up the pitch. Will he be allowed to do that? That's another thing. Depends on how we play with Allegri. So keep an eye on that as well. We know he has the ability to do it, so I say let him do it. Get the ball higher up into dangerous players like a Pogba. Imagine he wins the ball. Imagine that dude beside the referee is Paul Pogba and Gleison Bremer wins the ball and Paul Pogba picks the ball up like 30 yards from goal when against like probably 5 opposition players. That's what we want. Not necessarily a high press, but just we know that he has that ability, so let's try to see if we can capitalize on those chances. Next, we'll move on to another stat graph. I like the transition from stat graphs to in-game graphics because it gives you a different look. So his possession numbers, he's fine. We don't really want him we don't need him to carry the ball. So progressive carries in red, doesn't really matter. You can see the touches in the attacking penalty area. He's got nose for goal. I'll tell you that again. I told you the stat earlier. 11 goals in the last 3 Serie A seasons, most for a center back in that league. So he has a nose for goal, but the possession stats doesn't matter. I don't care if he touches. I don't want him to touch the ball a lot. I want Locatelli to touch the ball. I want Pogba to touch the ball. So these don't really mean much. Can he get out of a pickle? Yes, he can. Does he have the Brazilian flair? Yes, he does. He can do a roulette in his box and get out of it. But we don't really need him or want him to do that. And speaking about the touches in the attacking penalty area, there's the final clip that will excite the fans as well, and it is it's a goal for Gleison Bremer. He gets a nice header, as you can see in the middle or top of the 6-yard box there. The ball is just above the B in this graphic, and it's going to go into the far right corner. So he's got the ability to finish. Again, similar to Dillard, because Dillard scored the occasional goal in Serie A. So Bremer's got the same ability to do that due to his strength and his aggressiveness on the pitch. So that is that. That's what I got for stats and graphics. Before we conclude this Coach's Corner, I'm going to plug away our Paul Pogba jersey giveaway. You're still allowed to enter. To enter, you go to our Twitter page. Subscribe to the you have to be subscribed to the channel, tag your friend in the tweet, and retweet the tweet. And the winner will be announced August 1st, 2022. And let's see if I got it. You have a better chance of winning the jersey if you become a member and you join the premium level. You have giveaway priority, as you can see there. And with that, you have 5 times the chance of winning the Paul Pogba jersey compared to anybody else who enters. So consider becoming a member. Even if you want to be a club member or a lounge member, the Discord chat is awesome. We're getting a lot of people in that now. We're getting so many more subscribers in general. We got to remove that delete emoji and get a Bremer one in there. That'll be great. So consider becoming a member. Consider entering the chance to win a Paul Pogba jersey. And with that, we'll end it there. Gleison Bremer will be joining the squad for the U.S. tour, so stay tuned for that. I doubt he'll play Friday. When we play Chivas Guadalajara in Vegas. I would assume his first preseason match will be against Barcelona Real Madrid. I hope so anyway, because he needs to get in the squad and get up to date with the four in the back system. Now, talking about 4 in the back, before we wrap it up, it is different. It will be different for him because, again, like I said, at Torino, he had the ability and freedom to play, to not man mark if he didn't want to man mark. He had that freedom from the coach. So it might be a little bit different here. With Bonucci, he's not the strongest man marker. He's not the strongest one-on-one defender anymore. So we'll see how their chemistry links up. We'll see how they do together. And I'm going to kind of contradict myself because I said Gatti and Bremer are kind of the same. But if Gatti is the guy man marking and Bremer is the guy who's allowed to have that freedom to intercept and read the play, that might be a very good matchup. That might be a very good center back partnership. We will see. We'll see how the season transpires. I'm really excited for the preseason because we've got so many new faces. So I want to see how everyone does together. Gleison Bremer is a brilliant acquisition. Brilliant from the management to get him in there in 2 days. Brilliant to pip Inter to the player who had an agreement with him for 5-6 months. So you know what? Kudos to Bene. I hope Gleison Bremer works out. I think he will. I think he's got the grit, the spirit, the ability to do well with Juventus. I don't think he has the biggest ego in the world. He's got his Brazilian buddies with him. I think he'll fit in like a glove. So with that, follow myself at Gennady151 on Twitter. Follow Bianconeri Zone on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Bianconeri Zone. Follow Alejandro at AlejandroBZ on Twitter. Follow Justin Sofro at Justin Sofro. And stay tuned for all of our latest stuff because I'm doing a U.S. tour. Again, I keep calling it a vlog, but it's not like updates. I'm going to do a U.S. tour update video once every couple days when we're down there. So stay tuned for those things. Subscribe, like the video, and turn the bell notification on to stay up to date with all of our latest stuff. So thank you. Have a great night. Ciao.